Oh, Patty Mahomes, quietly, he's still in the MVP conversation. And I think that when Patrick Mahomes talks about having fun and talks about chemistry, listen, you know that he is just toying with the opposition. And yes, 5 touchdowns against the Jets, and people kind of yawned and said, well, the key word in that sentence, Jets. Well, let me tell you something. You see the fun he's having, throwing touchdowns, giving Tyreek Hill a piggyback ride. Just look at these numbers. He's got 21 touchdowns against 1 interception. And the Kansas City Chiefs, not Pittsburgh, with all due respect, the Chiefs, even with 1 loss, they are absolutely positively the best team in the NFL. Absolutely positively the team to beat. They have the superstar quarterback. They have an offense that is off the charts. You see the nuggets of domination there. And the brain trust is incredible. Eric Bieniemy deserves a head coaching job. He is a sensational offensive coordinator, and Andy Reid continues to prove why he's a Hall of Famer each and every Sunday. I think that Patrick Mahomes hears it all, sees it all, understands that there are people like me talking Russ and Aaron Rodgers week in, week out for MVP. He understands that there are people saying Pittsburgh is undefeated, they're the team to beat. I'm telling you, he is having so much fun out there. He's using everything in terms of motivation. You know it's going to be a lot of fun for Chiefs fans when he lights up the Carolina Panthers coming up on Sunday. I love Sean McDermott, and I love those comments about the DNA of these Buffalo Bills. And this Seattle-Buffalo game this weekend, I mean, it's a doozy to try to figure out. Here's what you know about the Bills, right? Listen, I love their fabric. I love, as McDermott said, their winning DNA, and they've dealt with adversity. Now, I think the world of the Bills. You know I love watching them play. Being objective, they just haven't been great over the last 4 games. And they beat New England. They buried New England, but you didn't come away inspired with Josh Allen and Buffalo. Look, you don't get extra points for being inspired, right? But this is a game, make no mistake, let's first guess it. Josh Allen should play like he did in the first 4 games going up against the Seattle defense. And he's going to need to, because you're not just playing the Seattle defense, you know, you're playing Russ. You and Stephon Diggs have to outgun and outscore the Seattle offense. You got to be better than Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. It's as simple as that. And this Seattle defense has been wretched this year, but some major news for Seattle as Jamal Adams is going to play this weekend. And this is kind of a big deal. He has missed significant time with a groin injury. And listen, Adams has experience going up against Buffalo and Josh Allen from his days when he was a star safety with the Jets, and they played a lot in the division. So this is kind of a big deal. Jamal Adams is a superstar. I haven't seen it yet for the Seattle Seahawks, but I love what McDermott's doing. When he talks about the DNA of the Buffalo Bills, he's making sure there are no excuses for his football team. People are raving about Seattle. People are raving about DK Metcalf and Russ. He doesn't care. He loves his defense. He loves Trey White. They have good matchups in this one. Josh Allen should not only be able to throw it, but run it. Think about what Cam Newton did against Seattle's defense earlier this year. It's go time for the Buffalo Bills, and Sean McDermott knows it. New England Patriots are going to be awful this year. And I thought this before the schedule came out. We've said one of the worst rosters in the NFL. I think the New England Patriots are going to win, and I'll be generous, 5 games. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have running backs. Bill Belichick, for some odd reason, never improved the wide receiver position. They lost players, key players, veterans on defense. I think the New England Patriots are going 5-11 in 2020. Cam Newton does not move the meter at all for the 2020 New England Patriots. Cam Newton over the last 2 years has proven that he is a shell of his former self. He is absolutely shot. He's now 31 years old. In his last 8 starts, he has as many wins as me. That's the problem. The New England Patriots are dreadful this season, and you can't be surprised. That's an epic throwback Thursday. Great job by the guys. Let me tell you something. We've been on it all offseason. I'm surprised people are surprised how terrible New England is. The roster is depleted. This was the easiest first guess in the 6-year history of Time to Shine. I mean, they don't have talent. And no, Cam Newton doesn't move the meter. And the only reason why eventually we pick them to win 5 to 7 games is because of Bill Belichick. That's it. Anyone who is screaming playoffs or they're not dead or they're going to win the division, you're just living in the past, man. This roster is dreadful. This was easy if, in fact, you're objective and not a Patriot shield. Time right now for Needless to Say. Needless to say, Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry didn't exactly give Baker Mayfield a ringing endorsement when asked if he was the Browns franchise quarterback. And I'm going to really up this here, okay? And I like Baker Mayfield, but he has been dreadful this year. You can look at the stats. You can watch him play. You can look at him in big spots, in big games against upper echelon teams, and how dreadful he is against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I think that Andrew Berry, who didn't draft him, and Kevin Stefanski, who didn't draft him, the old GM, the old coach, drafted Baker Mayfield. Listen, I think they're setting the stage to not only not pick up the fifth-year option, but to get rid of him when you take a look at the end of this season. And I'll take you a step further. I think they're setting the stage to bench him because I picked Cleveland to make the playoffs preseason, and part of it was because of the easy schedule. And by the way, they have 5 wins, and they're going to hit 10, and they should beat the Texans and the Eagles and the Jaguars right after the bye week. But if Baker doesn't play well, I'm telling you, you have to remember, one of the first things this brass did was give Case Keenum big-time money. And Kevin Stefanski has a relationship with Case Keenum going back to the Minnesota days when Case Keenum had that one outstanding season. So I wouldn't bat an eye. Forget about the offseason. If Baker Mayfield lost his job in season, if he stumbles in one of those games, don't be surprised when Baker's given the hook for Case Keenum. Needless to say, Lamar Jackson is spot on. He's got to get the football to Hollywood Browns streaking down the field. And listen, talking to Lamar on my SiriusXM radio show before the season started, this was a priority. And Hollywood deleted this tweet, but he's right. Now, he shouldn't put it on social media, but he's spot on. And we've talked at length about the Lamar Jackson problem in big games. I mean, they're not even trying to get the ball to Hollywood Brown. And remember, you can throw on the Steelers' defense. So this, to me, is a problem. And I don't think it's going to get solved coming up this weekend on CBS. You know, the Colts defense, I told you before the season, it was going to be a top 9 defense in the National Football League. Colts defense is tremendous. They're number 2 in the NFL. They have been awesome all season long. Their corners have really done an excellent job. Lamar's got to do a better job in terms of accuracy, in terms of hitting Hollywood Brown when he's open downfield. They have to do a better job in chunk plays, and Lamar's got to play better in huge spots against good teams. Indianapolis, 5-win team. This certainly counts. I love Lamar. My confidence level is really not high in Lamar Jackson in this specific matchup coming up this weekend. Boy, here's J.J. Watt sounding like he wants to be anywhere but Houston, Texas. Needless to say, J.J. Watt just asked his next general manager to trade him. Seriously, he just told everyone in Houston, just so you understand, I want out. And whoever the McNair family hires to be the new general manager, he doesn't want to be there. And I don't blame him. You know, Bill O'Brien just torpedoed the team, ruined the roster. They don't have a first or second round pick next year. You got to deal with Indianapolis and Tennessee. J.J. Watt is a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive linemen in the history of the NFL. He's not going to be easy to trade because obviously he's getting long in the tooth and he's a bit of an injury risk, but he still, as he said, has some great football left. You want to see that smile from J.J. Watt again. Also, you need to replenish some draft picks. A change of scenery and a trade at the end of the year makes sense for both J.J. and the Houston Texans. Aaron Rodgers coming off of a trade deadline where his GM didn't help him out once again. Oh, buckle up, Buttercup. I'm fired up to watch Aaron Rodgers work tonight, even if he and the Packers are short-handed. This is a gigantic football game. Look, the Packers and the Niners, anytime they get together, it's always fun. Doesn't have the juice that it would have prior to injuries and ball players who are on the COVID list, but I am so fired up to watch Aaron Rodgers, even if the Green Bay Packers are a mess at the running back position. And look, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is used to this. He's used to impactful players not being there. He's used to having to carry seemingly an entire team on his back. I mean, I don't know who Dexter Williams is or Tyler Ervin, but chances are we're going to find out tonight. And let me tell you something. I'm not convinced it matters. Aaron Rodgers, I can't believe you traded up for my replacement prematurely tour instead of giving me help. I mean, it's unbelievable. Devontae Adams is going to have a monster game. Rodgers is going to have a monster game. And this combination is flat out dreamy. And look, part of the story for the ball game tonight, the San Francisco 49ers are not the San Francisco 49ers. And truth be told, I was convinced this was going to be a very close game, even when we knew that Garoppolo wasn't going to play and when Kittle wasn't going to play and Deebo Samuel wasn't going to play. But then when we found out last night that Trent Williams is not going to go and Brandon Ayuk is not going to go, Williams, of course, the outstanding tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, that's it. Like Kramer said in the contest episode on Seinfeld's, I'm out. And I love Kyle Shanahan. In theory, he coaches up who he has and he finds a way to compete and then win. That's the Kyle Shanahan way, but I don't think this team's making the playoffs this year. It's way too daunting of a schedule. I mean, look at those next 4 games. Not out of the realm of possibility that the 49ers end up losing them all, including tonight. You don't want to face Aaron Rodgers in general. You really don't want to face him when he's angry. This has double-digit victory for Aaron Rodgers written all over it.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.